play some more, or hopefully play way more games in the second half of the GPL season. Speaking of really hot players, Dominic Nietzsche really had a great week, the only week he played as well. 12 points coming with a first and second place finish in 6-max competition, 3 points coming from a heads-up match against Vladimir Troyanovsky, who we just saw play moments ago. Sorel Mizzi, it looks like the theme is you're only going to play a week at a time, and Sorel Mizzi played last week, and he's playing this week, so the new stat will be laid for Mizzi. Little rough debut in 6-max competition, but more than made up for that in heads-up play, where he defeated Kitai 3-0 in a shocker, of course, with Kitai, of course, one of the top pros there. So really a great heads-up debut for Mizzi last week. We get to see him in a few moments. Bill Perkins, it's surprising, obviously, to see Perkins up here 4th out of the 6 players for the team. Now, he has played 5 times already, so maybe that's why it's not so surprising. But I think the theme here is that Jungleman and Brian Rast, in the second half, so much more will be expected out of both of these players. Jungleman only 6 or 7 points total through 6 matches. Brian Rast had a rough debut in the GPL 2 weeks ago. 3 points in 6-max action, 3 points in heads-up competition. So a lot more expected from both these two players in the second half. Speaking of teams that need more points, how about the Rome Emperors? It's really not been a good start to the year for the Emperors. Halfway through the season, Max Pescatore is their top scorer. I think even Max will be disappointed by that stat. I think he's expecting way more from many of his players, including Mustafa Kinit, who had a slow start in 6-max competition, but it really picked things up last week, and it's a much better record now. 6 points in 6-max, 6 points in heads-up competition for Mustafa, for the King. Dario Sammartino, another top pick, a second-round pick for the team. 4 matches played, only 2 points in 6-max competition, which is very surprising, but he made up for that, defeating Igor Kurganov 2-1, defeating the London Royals last week. That made up for that, and 6 points now in heads-up competition. Todd Brunson, 8 points in 6-max competitions, no points in heads-up. We mentioned that he was swept by Jeff Gross in his only match. Walter Trukariki, 7 points in 6-max competition. A little more, I think, is expected from Walter in the second half. And the man playing Sorel Mizzi tonight in the All-Canadian matchup, the All-Toronto matchup, well, it's Timothy Adams, who's only played heads-up, and he's lost both of his heads-up matches, tough matches. Justin Bonomo really early in the season. So he's a lot more expected from Tim Adams. I think he expects a lot more from himself. Also lost to Sergei Lebedev a few weeks back. So wouldn't be surprised if Tim Adams pours it on in the second half this year. Laura, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Eric, Danny, with those all-important stats coming up for this next match. It is the Berlin Bears versus the Rome Emperors, both bottom of the standings in the Eurasian Conference, both with everything to play for. There is a huge gap between the 1st and the 6th place at the moment, over 30 points, in fact. So as we're over halfway now in the season, it is looking tough for Max Pescatore's side to try and climb back up the conference, but I'm sure they will give it a good go. It is time to go over to the desk to Griffin Benja and Roland in the booth B for a little bit of pre-match analysis.
Never going away, Roland. Laura,
you're going to have to drag me kicking and screaming out of here if you want to get rid of me.
Once she has like a riff, like once she has a send-off, you're done. It's just, she's doing the Roland in the Boothby thing. Before with Sam and I, it's the boys, it's Griff Graff. It's just, these things stick. They do.
I mean, if we find Grafton by tomorrow, I don't think he's going to like that
no,
intro
yeah.
to
we
the
got Sam in the Boothby. It's like, you're mixing messages here, Laura. Big match here between the Rome Emperors and the Berlin Bears. We often say big match, and the reason why, despite these two teams being at the bottom of the division, why it is so big for them in the Eurasia Conference is because, a 9-point swing can really help you become relevant again in the division. And that's really what we see with the Hong Kong Stars today with Nanonoko sweeping. So this is a huge opportunity for the Bears and the Emperors to get back in the thick of things with a sweep, and that's really what they'll be looking to do.
Yeah, this is obviously the battle of the basement boys tonight.
Nice.
Rome sitting on the bottom of the table. Now, a sweep for Rome would leave the Berlin Bears at the bottom of the table. We've got two very strong players playing tonight for either side. I'm slightly surprised we haven't seen more of Timothy Adams so far, when you'd imagine to be one of the stronger players in the Rome side, and we've seen perhaps what you might call some of the weaker players playing some of the six maxes. Timothy Adams will be looking forward to getting into the action for Rome tonight, showing why he was their third draft pick and looking to pick up some points.
And here are his stats.
Here we go.
He is Canadian. This is an all-Canadian matchup in the Eurasia Conference tonight. Very rare thing to see here, but very, very cool. 2.7 million in earnings. Mostly a cash game player. Plays some of the biggest stakes, a regular and a crusher at the 25-50 level. That's why he was selected, I'm sure, with that cash background, but has played a lot of super high rollers, someone you'll see as a mainstay in things like the 50K in Prague and Barcelona and that sort of thing. Maybe not someone who plays a ton of 100Ks, but certainly someone that will play nearly the biggest buy-in tournaments, and such an incredible pedigree and experience at those levels. But he's going to be in tough with Sorel Mizzi, because this is a guy who plays the 100Ks, who's had a lot of success in them, who's a very much sort of a similar to kind of the Sam Trickett, Vov Troy kind of field player sort of thing. I know it's a cliche, guys, field player, that sort of thing, but very, very true in the case of Sorel Mizzi. So someone with more of a GTO background, going to use a lot of bluffs using blockers, really going to read search situations very interestingly. If you're interested to see what to expect from Tim Adams, we did just have the replay during the break of his match against Sergey Lebedev, which is really great to see, but his match in particular against Justin Bonomo from the first week, I really recommend anyone who wants to learn some really advanced heads-up concepts. That's an amazing match to check out. But let's take a look at Sorel Mizzi's stats. One of my favorites, the lover of red grapes, Sorel Mizzi. Any blog post or anything he writes about talks about his love for red grapes. I actually brought some on the stream for him today. Unfortunately, I won't be able to give them to him because he could be anywhere in the world right now. As you can see, a best GPR rank of 3, also hailing from Canada, over $11 million in tournament cashes, 13 wins over 112 results, as we've talked about, 10%, a very good win rate to have. This is a guy who has played the biggest and best buy-ins and had success with them. You know, a controversial figure in the poker community for sure. Really someone that is just so interesting and so fun to watch.
Yeah, Sorel's a player who's been around for a decade now. Logged his first cash in 2006. He's an absolute beast of the game. He's number 4 on the Canadian all-time money list. Now, that's a pretty impressive money list, which contains the likes of Mike Timex McDonald. This is two players who'll definitely know a little bit about each other from the high roller circuit. These two played on the same final table of the 100K super high roller in EPT Grand Final of Season 9. I think it ended up Adams finishing 4th, Mizzi finishing 3rd. That was the tournament which was won by Max Altegott. So those players have at least played together on that final table. I would imagine they played together a lot of experience together. And you know, two players who play in Europe, playing for franchises in Europe, but also big names of the game in the Canadian game. 4 and 23 on the Canadian all-time money list. Two very strong players, and I imagine we'll see a pretty high standard of poker being played.
For sure, these two obviously are two of probably the top 10 poker players in all of Canada in the last 10 years. I mean, that says a lot. Canada has breeded a lot of great poker talents. Seeing one right here in the top 30, probably top 50 maybe. Obviously, a wealth of talent. You look at guys like Mike Watson, Mike McDonald, Mike Lea. A lot of Mikes from Canada. I'm just realizing that was all off the cuff. Shams Srinivasan.
Good poker players.
A lot of good poker players from Canada. The Greenwood brothers. So, a wealth of talent coming out of Canada.
Sam Chartier.
Yeah, an indication of how good they are. Montreal Nationals, of course, I believe leading the conference still in the Americas division.
I believe so.
And, such a wealth of talent. Pascal Lafrancois, Marc-Andre Ladissoure, Jason Lavallee, so many good Canadian players, and it's no surprise that some of the Europeans decided to dip into that pool of talent with guys like Sorel Mizzi for the Berlin Bears and Tim Adams for the Rome Emperors. Yeah,
very unsurprising that we saw a few of the talent from across the pond ending up with Eurasian franchises. This was the nature of the beast. Players, the captains were allowed to go anywhere with their picks as they were entitled to do so. It feels slightly injustice on the part of these two players that they're playing. This is a battle of the two teams at the bottom of the table, sort of not positions befitting great players of their caliber. That being said, these are players who were picked to drag their team out of a rough position should they find themselves there. And I think this is especially for Timothy Adams, who has been edged out in both week 1 and week 3, losing to Bonomo in week 1 and Lebedev, I believe, in week 3. He'll probably feel like he didn't do much wrong in those games. Just the obviously card distribution, a couple of flips didn't go go his way. So I think Adams will feel like he hasn't really, run at the where he should in this league. So he'll be looking at this as a chance to definitely get 6 points on the board for the Emperors. But I mean, 10 points would be just what they really need and would really like reinvigorate their challenge.
Absolutely. And on the other end of the spectrum, Sorel, didn't have a great deal of success in the 6 max matches, but the next day, sweeping a guy like David Katai of the Paris Aviators. Obviously ran extremely well in that match, but played very, very well against the incredibly tough David Katai. So he's someone that is going to be riding a little GPL momentum. He's going to be smiling a lot on the stream. He's going to have a lot to say. He's going to have some stories. So we're going to have to make sure we balance our timing with when we interject, because Sorel is such a cartoon character. He's just great to watch.
I mean, I think those of you who tuned in last week, who may have, felt that hadn't had, they're surprised that Mizzi hadn't been featured so far in the GPL. We got, so much Mizzi in 1 week. So I think there's still a lot more to come from Sorel. And obviously he's in a team that's struggling in the league as well. He's actually he took a giant step in improving the fortunes of the Bears with that sweep over Davide Katai. And you don't. Davide Katai and sweep aren't 2 or 3 words you expect to see in the same sentence.
You do if it's the other way around. Yeah, exactly. You expect to see Katai doing all the sweeping. Just to let you guys know, by the way, this is Roland Boothby, in case you're just tuning in wondering, where's Sam Grafton? We want the British guy. He's still British.
Yeah, I'm still British, guys.
But, obviously not nearly as handsome and not nearly as bespeckled.
Yeah, we're looking to get Sam Grafton back in the... thank you, Griffin.
Yes, but tonight he had to play. He had a invitational Unibet tournament, which he actually stone bubbled, 4-betting in on a flop of 9-6 deuce with ace-9, getting called by pocket threes and it running out 4-5. Sam, condolences. I love you. We all love you here. Tomorrow, I'll make it up to you. We'll go for lunch. Miss you, buddy. Miss you, buddy.
Okay,
anyways, we're still waiting on Sorel.
Yeah,
this is a trend. You know what's funny? Let me just say this, because normally with production and this sort of thing, you don't really explain why you're kind of stalling some things, but it's really on message here with Sorel Mizzi. Always finding a way to show up late, always having a story. It's almost like it's a running bit for him now. But he's someone.
We did think it was advantageous that Mizzi was playing in the final game of the night.
Exactly. It's like we're giving him some time to get his shit together.
He's had a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure that it's Sorel, but I think we can safely assume
production told me in the air.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's almost certainly never going to be Timothy Adams who's holding up the
Timothy
GPL.
Adams has been running simulations for the last 3 hours, watching all the other matches, listening to pump up music. But, so let's talk a little bit more about Sorel.
Let's talk about these guys. Okay, so Mizzi obviously taking a slight backward step from poker in the last year or so. I think his last cash was in something like 2015, late 2015. Now, Mizzi may be pursuing other business interests. Timothy Adams, last 6-figure cash, 2013. And for a guy who sort of plays all the high rollers, again, these guys feel like both of these guys will feel they've got something to prove in the GPL.
Yeah.
In a way, Mizzi, 10 million earnings, 4th on the Canadian all-time win list.
Yeah.
But players want.
Where am I on that list, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
I'll have another look at when we.
Well, he's got 2.6. I think I've had like 2.3, so that puts me top 30.
Yeah, you might be in the top 30 in the Canadian.
Get me in the game, guys.
Standings.
Anyone looking to back anyone?
Anyway, anything to prove for these guys? Do you think in the GPL? Do you think they've done enough in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Sorel Mizzi showed that he's never someone who goes out of style. I mean, I think that you really need to work on your poker game to kind of grow with it. I constantly say this on the stream a lot. Poker is this kind of organism that is constantly changing, and if you don't change with it, it's not like you can just get to the height of the game and then quit like I did in Counter-Strike. But you know what I mean?
And in poker.
Well, not quite. It's something you really need to be studying. You need to really be working all the time. And to be fair, actually, it's the same with Counter-Strike. That's why I quit, because all the kids were playing like they were 14 years old in their basement playing all night long. I couldn't do it anymore. So you really need to be studying. You need to be working. I think that someone like Sorel kind of transcends that stereotype. I think he's someone that is kind of the exception to the rule. Anyone that has that kind of cerebral, just incredible instincts. We saw it a lot with Sam Trickett in his match there against Vov Troy, especially in that last hand where he knew this is a spot that he can't ever really fold, but he still wanted to because he just had a feeling. And it's not something you can really quantify. And I think Sorel has that feeling. I wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't played poker for months before he jumped into that match match with David Ikatai outside of the game he played the day before, and able to sweep a guy that is literally like one of the best when it comes to tournament poker in David Ikatai. So Sorel, I think, is someone that's going to be a challenge for Tim Adams, but I think he's also someone that Tim Adams is going to know his game very, very well, and I would not be surprised if Tim Adams was able to pull a sweep for the Rome Emperors, but it's going to be incredibly difficult as Sorel is someone that is unpredictable, but also very, very in tune with game flow and mechanics and everything like that, dynamic. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I think the match is ready to go. Let's see if Sorel's there or it's some sort of replacement. You'll never know here at the GPL.
You match.
No cam yet, we've been told, but he is there, and he has 3-4 offsuit on the button, and he's throwing in the muck.
Connectors.
1-0 Timothy. Timothy Adams, his name online is Timothy, Timothee. Sorel Mizzi online, Zhang Bazan, I believe 24 on PokerStars.
Imperium? Is that
Imperium on Full Tilt Poker. RIP FTP.
RIP Imperium, then, I guess.
High RP FTP. I mean, we've had to RIP most of his accounts at some point in his career. Obviously, Sorel, a very controversial figure, gotten into a little trouble here and there. Always someone that's trying to push some edges, and it hasn't always worked out for him. But such a talent. Early on here, getting the better of him is Tim Adams, turning 2-pair, and Sorel is not going to like that turn card. And that river card may end up saving him some money if Timothy Adams doesn't bet. Does bet, pardon me, because Sorel Mizzi not really beating anything once the 8 of spades hits. He's not beating a flush. He's not beating 5-6. He's not beating 8-7. And he certainly ain't beating any queen or 10-7.
No, he is not. Wervenator in the house on Twitch. Welcome to you, sir or madam. Hoping to get some cams for you shortly, guys.
Yes.
If you haven't experienced Sorel Mizzi's cam game,
and if you
haven't lived.
We've just been told by producer Luis that Timothy Adams will not be on cam today. He has just moved. I guess that's what Laura was referring to, moving to the U.S. He was just recently in Finland on, I guess, an extended vacation or visiting some friends. Now he is in the U.S. and unfortunately does not have the webcam set up. But we do get to see his beautiful little avatar smiling longingly at me. Just love me, Tim. Sorel Mizzi opening the 3-5 suited. Into the muck is the Jack-4. Hopefully we will be able to get Sorel to do a one-man show here.
Where do we think Sorel Mizzi will be? That's something to
it sounds like
speculate
something,
over.
I mean, Sorel Mizzi is a bit of a ladies' man, and I think maybe he's sort of on a bit of a, Texan cowgirl kind of tip right now. I mean, why is he in Texas? It's going to be about a woman. I'm sorry. Every time. I'm calling my shot here.
Described it in his interview with Laura Cornelius as some sort of business venture.
Yeah.
But, I mean, is that the go-to phrase when you're?
Love. I'll be honest with you.
When the Inquisition begins.
Sorel is a lover, not a hater, not a fighter. So I would not be surprised if that business venture is going to see about a girl.
I mean,
hashtag Goodwill Hunting.
Sorel Mizzi is a player who has courted controvery over the years. Now, as a friend of his, is that something that sort of he gets flustered about, or is he someone who is very much his own man and ignores sort of some of the kind of negative comments?
The white noise. I think that I think that he is someone who understands that he's made some mistakes, and he owns them, and he's very, very open and honest about them. And I mean, I'm the same way. I think I've made some mistakes in my life, and especially in poker as well. And I think that Sorel is someone who's open about that, but he does have a tough time dealing with moral absolutists, just like I do. People that, anything that you do a little bit wrong, it kind of defines you, and that's not really the way the world works. It's not black and white. We're all, cowboys in this game, and unfortunately, some people fire off more shells than others. Sorel Mizzi always trying to push edges and give themselves more opportunities to win, and sometimes that's gotten him into a bit of hot water. But, someone I consider a personal friend and who's a very, very interesting guy and who owns his mistakes and tries to learn from them. And I think that he's in a very positive place in his life, and we're really glad to have him here at the GPL.
Okay, guys, just a reminder, we are hoping to get Sorel on the webcam this evening. We will not be seeing anything from Timothy Adams due to recent relocation on his part. My name is Roland Boothby of the Global Poker Index, joined in the booth by Mr. Griffin.
But in the
Benji.
league today. You're part of the league today.
Yeah, they've thrown me into the league, guys.
You primarily do work with the eye, right?
I primarily work with the I and the THM. But yeah, one evening in the league can't hurt anyone.
The
We did
THM, of course, being the Hendon
the
mob.
Hendon Mob. Yeah, we have lost Sam Grafton for the evening, guys, but it's only a temporary loss.
Tell me industry bigwigs really call it the THM.
A THM is probably an internal abbreviation
Yeah,
more than
that's great.
anything that reaches beyond the walls of this office.
Because I can tell you right now, in the years that I've checked Hendon Mob, none of us said, "Hey, what's your rank lately on THM?" It just wasn't. It didn't land.
Wasn't GTO to use THM.
No, no, it wasn't plus EV.
OMG.
Very action-heavy flop
Action
here.
flop.
Sorel with 2 overs and a flush draw. Timothy Adams with the best hand with the ace high and the gutter ball. This turn is always going to be action. That is not one of them, actually. This certainly will shut down Sorel Mizzi a lot of the time. And as you can see, Timothy Adams rivering the straight. The ace to 5, the old wheel, the old Jason Wheeler.
Okay.
Listen to some Muse on the break. Love me some Muse. You a big Muse guy?
Yeah, I mean, not a big Muse guy, but they are headlining Glastonbury, where I'll be at the end of June. So I'll probably end up seeing them. I haven't been a huge Muse fan up till now in my life, but I might sort of reacquaint myself with them because I'm going to be seeing them, on the main stage at Glastonbury. So may as well give it a go, I guess.
Timothy Adams bubbled the Scoop main medium, the one that had over 5,000 players that I actually finished 50th in. I got slow rolled out of that tournament. You were watching that, right?
I did see that tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, Timothy Adams. There was a good showing,
apparently.
a good strong showing from the Canadian contingent. I think.
Who ended up?
I think it was
tabling that?
I think it was Sawatz who bubbled the final table.
How did the Latvian guy who slow rolled me? Did he make the final table?
I didn't see. I think Timothy Adams finished around about 30 something.
Max Rabinovich of GPL and GPI and Hold'em X fame remarks that he bubbled the Scoop main final table.
I think that was Sawatz.
Oh, well then, clearly, Max is just terrible at his
He's
job.
mixed-
Everything confirmed here. Big day at the GPL.
I think he's mixing up his Timothy Adams with his Mike Watson, which is
completely
criminal,
a different name.
criminal offence.
Yeah.
And they're both Canadian. They both play
Max
poker.
Rabinovich, if you're listening to this, I just want you to know it's all your fault. And,
Nice flop
you
pip for
make me
Timothy
sick.
Adams. Second pair, backdoor flush draw.
BDFD, my favorite kind of FD. Another action flop here. Not a board we're usually going to see more than one bet, but one that Sorel is obviously going to protect his king with a bit of a bigger sizing. Timothy Adams should be snapping that card.
Actually, one of the few turn cards that could see action.
Could see more action. Sorel's going to want to get some value with his king from some flush draws, some sevens. He does opt to check though, and if Timothy Adams opts to value bet here, which I think he'll do a fair bit, he opts to block value bet with the 1600. Should expect a snap call from Sorel, but don't put it past Sorel to consider raising in this spot, simply because this bet certainly does look.
This is where
like
you separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, and
the
he
men
does
raise
go
in
for the
this
raise.
spot.
Yeah, loving it.
Nice, very nice from Sorel there. Really a masterclass in a spot where, I mean, just the vast majority of players, especially amateurs, would just make a fairly easy call.
And that's something that our main man Sam Grafton hates. Betting with the strength of your hand, you know. Wow, that was awful. Not my finest work. Ace King offsuit here for Sorel Mizzi. Timothy Adams with a hand that I think a lot of people would consider 3-betting, but he opts to flat, which I actually kind of like. Not only because Sorel has a hand that he would certainly 4-bet, but because Queen 7 suited. I mean, let's see 3, baby. A lot of the hands that Sorel will be defending against a 3-bet will have Queen 7 dominated. A lot of better queens out there.
Have you ever done an English accent and someone said, Griffin, like, that's a really good English accent? Like,
Yeah.
What's caused you to use it so frequently?
I don't know, because my co-host every other show but today, and even the replacement co-host is bloody British.
But I
mean,
feel
I
like
can do a good Grafton from time to time, but I need him to be here to
none
do
of
it,
the
you know?
attempts at a Grafton accent
None of the
have
attempts have been sounded
remotely like
remotely
Grafton.
like
But some of your
Grafton.
Game of Thrones impressions are reasonably good.
The Game of Thrones ones. Which Game of Thrones ones do I do?
A
crown for a king. I think you mean more
the old guy from the. You did an impression of the old guy from the
Which
wall.
The old guy from the wall. No, I think you're mixing. I think you just assumed I was making a game of. Oh, Hodor. No, you're just completely off base. Why would you even want me to talk about Game of Thrones when you've been telling me you don't want to get spoiled? What are you doing right now?
They got a couple of reasonably good hands here. Got a pair against the
a couple of
King
reasonably change the subject before I spoil GOT, son. What it is.
3-bet from Mizzi. Sorel takes the lead on a very favorable board.
And loving how quickly these guys are playing. You know, not wasting any time, recognizing that they know what they're doing. You know, stop balancing your time, and you're just playing for points. If you guys aren't familiar, the Global Poker League, this is an initiative brought together by the wondrous, the genius, my boss, Alex Dreyfus. Crazy idea to create this league, and everyone is loving it so far. I certainly am. Some great poker talents, but these players are not actually technically playing for money at this stage in the league. First place for the league, I believe, is it $100,000?
I believe it is, Griffin.
For the winner of the season, does get 100 grand. So still some money on the line here. That's a, you know, that's a 15, 20K shot to the face.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know math. I think 15K would be.
I mean, any prize money goes alongside, you know, also what the players are being paid to play. I mean, this is a professional sports league model. Players are paid for their time, which is obviously unique, mostly more or less unique in anything we've seen in poker. And obviously Alex Dreyfus has a vision, and he's determined to
see it through.
See it through.
No matter how many people he has to chain to this desk. As soon as one of them got away, he had another one lined right up. You really are a minion. 2 10s here for Sorel Mizzi. The very playable heads up hand, King 4 off for Timothy.
3-bet takes it down there by Sorel.
Sorel really getting some playable hands here. It's the suited King.
Yeah.
You know what? This is actually, this might make you cry. It's a little sad, but whenever I see King 8 of Hearts, I think about the fact that my first love, when I was 17, 18 years old, her name was Kate. Look at the suited Kate. Hearts. Look, of course, the heart's turn. You know, the heart will always come on the turn. And then on the river, guess what? It's a freaking deuce of diamonds. It's never the heart on the river. She left me just like everyone does, just like Sam did.
I won't leave you, Griffin.
Look, 4 of clubs. What'd I tell you?
I won't leave you, Griffin. You're leaving me. You said you're leaving Malta. I thought that, you know, you'd made quite the impression on this island. I thought it was. You thought it was could be your permanent home.
Oh, I'm coming back, buddy. This is my home. I just got to stop off and chill with my bro. Got my bro back in TO. And the Blue Jays. You know, I haven't been able to watch some games out here. 1 a.m. they start out here. I tried to convince myself that I was just going to be some freaking, you know, guy every night just watching the Jays and like not hanging out with you guys, but. Frick, I like you guys too much.
I'm honored. Shout out to Eric Denis, always on hand with the information we need.
Telling us that.
Sometimes I'm ahead of him.
Yeah, funny that you say that Sorel's not a fighter, Griff. He's actually in Austin, in part, for MMA training. So thank you for completely ruining my point,
essentially,
Eric.
Sorel is a fighter.
Even when you're halfway across the world, you know how to just ruin my day. Now, great inside information from the GPL insider, Denny himself.
A man you'll be seeing more of from next week at the Summer Series in Las Vegas when the GPL packs up, puts all our equipment onto a container ship, and sets sail for Las Vegas, Nevada.
That's not a real thing, is it? You're putting all the stuff on the... No, you have new stuff out there.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, okay, sorry. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, guys. 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, you also can't sail a ship to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh,
there were so many inaccuracies in what I said.
Joao Bauer against Faraz Jaka. Joao versus Jaka. I already have bits prepared in my head.
Jack Bauer.
Oh my God! Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna have to call Sam. You've just earned another day. Jack Bauer, first match of the day tomorrow. Max, Rabinowitz, you hear that? Joao Bauer against Faraz Jaka tomorrow. Jack Bauer.
Damn it!
Bauer's
How
in
do we not see
tomorrow. That? 24 references are going to be going crazy. Should I get a 24 figurine? You know they got them. Laura, sit down, okay? Stop. Sorry about that, guys. Early lead here for Timothy Adams, chipping away at the enigmatic Sorel Mizzi, who's too cool for the cam at the moment. ATM. Laura and Max making out in the lounge.
Yeah, Sorel Mizzi probably like something's happened to Sorel. He's probably grinding this on like a Nokia 3210. No camera enabled. Not much on this flop for either player. Timothy Adams with the most backdoor opportunities. Also got an overcard. And he's going to raise and gets a snap fold. Nice instinct there from Timothy Adams. Nice timing. Knew he had a few backdoor possibilities. Should that raise have
love backdoor,
met with resistance?
Love backdoor opportunities.
We all love backdoor opportunities here at the GPL.
Yeah. Shout out Worthington. Timothy Adams here, flopping open-ended. Queen 5 here, Sorel Mizzi. Queen high. Going to be tough to win the hand, especially when Tim Adams turns to second nuts.
Going to be slightly hard for Timothy to get value in the spot. Sorel just with a gut shot and a slightly dwindling stack at this point.
Timothy Adams with the 3 to 1 chip lead here. Opening the king deuce into Sorel's cucky queen 6 off. I hate queen 6 off. It's such a shitty hand. It just
and you feel like you got to raise
it's
it
just
as well.
the worst. It's queen 6 offsuit. Whoever wants to play that hand, I don't care how good you are. Like queen 6 suited, like let's see 3. You know, queen 6 off. It's like go get out of here. Get out of my office. Give me your gun. Give me your 6 badge.
Oh
wow.
My God.
Oh my God.
The bear himself has woken from his slumber.
As you can see,
a nice river for Timothy
is that
Adams.
some sort of crazy backdrop? Like what is going on in that room?
That's called a house. It's called an apartment.
No, I mean that room back there.
That's called a television.
Roomba.
Good to see Sorel's house fitted with a smoke alarm. We're very pro safety here at the GPL. Always test the batteries on your smoke alarms, folks. I'm sure Sorel has tested his recently. I think they say every month. The fire brigade always recommend testing of smoke alarms. 10 deuce for Mizzi. Looks like he doesn't want to play us to this button. Insta snap from Timothy Adams. Sorel's going to have to relinquish the 10 deuce. We had Sorel there for a minute, guys. Apologies that we've lost him again.
I mean that's really the secret to how he gets all the beautiful women. He just gives you a little bit and then he just goes poof. He's gone. Very Kaiser Soze-esque. Tell me you at least know that reference.
I'm aware of the Kaiser Soze reference. That's
okay.
a film called The Usual Suspects.
It's Kevin Spacey. Sorel, give us a little something, baby. He's really good looking, nice and tanned.
Strong beard game on show.
Do you think he's MMA training to fight Olivier Bousquet for Samantha Abernethy's honor? That would be great. That's a storyline that I'm tuning in for the finale of that season. Okay?
Yeah.
All in and a call here.
A trial by combat for the for the hand of. What happened there? Anyway, Sorel's doubled up there, and he's as surprised as we are. He's putting on some sort of trilby hat to celebrate that double up. Griffith.
Oh, I missed his hat. Come on. What'd the hat say? It was just goofy and colorful, I thought.
I didn't see there was a lot of there was some inscription around the rim.
To be fair, you missed the
flush on the turn here for Timothy Adams.
But a flush draw.
Redraw for
Sorel Mizzi.
Sorel Mizzi looking more and more like a bear with each time he appears on the GPL.
Yep, slowly transforming, trying to stay on message.
He could, potentially it could be the mascot and the star performer for the Berlin Bears.
Yep.
A dual role here at the GPL for Sorel.
Give him a second. He's just going into that back room to look for some honey. Obviously, that's why it's glowing, because it is where he keeps all his bees.
And the burning question is, Griffin, what would you rather fight? A Sorel Mizzi-sized bear or a bear-sized Sorel Mizzi?
A Sorel Mizzi sized bear or a bear-sized Sorel Mizzi. Nice little hug there from a friend there.
Bear hug, if you
Can
will.
we get? I will. Allow it. Have you seen that movie? Allow it reference? That's way too. It's a British movie actually. Attack the Block. Come on.
I'm going to go with no.
Phenomenal film. Will you watch it?
I'll check it out.
Watch it with Sarah. Attack the Block. It stars the guy from the guy who played Finn in the new Star Wars movies. Did you watch
Top
Star Wars
pair on the
Episode 7?
turn. No,
Buddy.
Griff. Top
No.
pair on the turn here for Timothy Adams.
It's just his buddy. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a poker player. Laura just wants to know everyone. It's pathetic. It's like, wait a minute. I didn't clear this with anyone. There's someone in the background, and I'm not sure who it is. I am Laura Cornelius. I have been a poker presenter for years. How dare he have a friend? I don't know who He's cute. What's his name? Can we find out who it is? Backdoor 2-pair here for Timothy Adams.
All right,
It's going to
good.
be a very difficult spot for Sorel Mizzi, who did flop 2-pair.
Oh, very quick fold
Snap
there
folds,
by Sorel.
And
Pretty impressive.
And talking up Laura Cornelius to his friend.
All right, Benja. Well, okay, we've got two reasonably good hands here. Might see a call here from Sorel. No. Still haven't come down on either side of the fence in regards to the bear-sized Sorel Mizzi or a Sorel Mizzi-sized bear debate. I'll give you a bit
Who
of
would
time,
win in a
actually.
fight?
Now, who would you rather fight?
Who would I rather fight? A bear-sized Sorel Mizzi. A bear-sized Sorel Mizzi or a Sorel-sized bear? Sorel-sized bear, for sure.
So a kind of bear that's the size of a human.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Not a
It's still a bear. It's still
not a sentient bear that is with the mind of Sorel Mizzi. That's crazy.
But it's still a bear. Like,
What's going on with the mic situation here? Should we blame this on the on Sorel, the producers, or Max Rabinovich? I feel like we should blame it on Max Rabinovich.
Yeah, head of product development.
I've just been informed by producer Luis that it is in fact Max Rabinovich's fault. So if you guys are listening, Max Rabinovich is pretty much the problem with anything that goes wrong with the GPL. 816 level.
Yeah.
The Griffin
Anyone wondering
Benj
why
Memorial
Griffin
level.
Benj is acting even more hyperactively than normal? Yeah, we've entered that realm.
Yeah. Once we get to 816, things ramp up. I get excited. I know that the night's almost over. Sorel Mizzi betting is 9-5.
The Dolly Parton. Big hand for Timothy.
Yep.
Sorel.
The Wayne Gretzky, if you will. I'm just going to throw out references that there is a 0.0% chance you will get. I mean, you might even have heard of Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, he's a Canadian
but you
guy.
probably didn't even know that he was 99, did you?
Plays hockey on ice.
Yes. Yes. Very well done.
Sorel slipped down to 26,000.
WTPK14 asks, is this dude fruity? The way he looks at his co-host, it looked like he's about to jump their bones. SMH. To answer your question, yes, Roland and I are actually a couple. It's a good opportunity to announce to everyone, including your girlfriend who is watching the stream, that this has been getting a little serious. And we love each other and we don't care what anyone thinks. Next question.
This is not a bit. A bit of an action flop here. Sorel middle pair with the up and down. Timothy bottom pair with the up and down. And the board breaks off for Sorel, and he'll be looking to probably try and get some value with his 10.
Sick read, bro.
His opponent does have, well, a very impressive, again there, a snap fold from Adams.
Yeah, I think he just recognizes not a spot that he's often going to be bluffing in.
Should see a shove here from Sorel.
We all good, Max?
Shove from Sorel.
Hey everyone, so
Oh.
I guess I was a little bit late again. I mean, it's kind of like a running thing now, so it's
really?
it's almost as if I have to do it in order to maintain.
Oh wow, it's exactly what I said.
That's like my shtick, you know. I'm the guy who comes in like just a little bit late. This time.
You're just a bad person, Sorel.
You know what? I'm not even gonna give a story. It's just is what it is.
Behavior.
We want the story.
So we check, you know, we're checking back here a lot with with lower pairs. We wanna keep the pot small. You know, we're in position. We don't need to go crazy. We don't have to like. We know we're not going to go bet. So why not just keep the pot small, in position, see what he does on future streets, and evaluate from there. Now we're going to have the best hand here, like a lot. So I think what we're going to do here is make a nice juicy 89-43 bet, and I have a feeling we're going to get called here quite a bit. Nothing's really changed on that 8 board, and a lot of draws missed, so maybe we could have got away with betting a little more. So that's good, man. Since I put my mic on, it seems like we it seems like since my mic has been on, I've been running really good. So the blinds are pretty high right now, guys. We're playing heads up, and the blinds are 1,000, 2,000, and we both have 50,000. So you do the math. That's only about what, 25 big blinds. So we're not very deep. We're gonna have to, and you know, when we're playing this type of structure and we're not very deep, there's a lot of different ways to go about people think that your options are limited to, like, you have to shove or you have to call or you have to, like, I don't even know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'm going to limp a lot. I'm going to limp a lot from the big blind or from the button, and I'm going to, I like to establish a nice wide limp range when we're this shallow. I like to limp with hands that I'm intending on limp re-raise shoving. I like to limp with hands that I am going to fold. I like to limp with a lot of hands. Like this hand, for example. I could limp with it, but it's a little bit too strong. So I'm going to go ahead and raise this with the intention of calling a shove. Ace-10 is more than strong enough to call a shove. So, you know, something like Ace-3 or Ace-Deuce or one of those hands where you don't want to raise and then get shoved on, because it's kind of irresponsible to call with such weak holdings. Those are the types of hands that I might elect to limp in and then reshove. So we have King-9 here.
Walking the dog.
Walking the dog.
No, it's walking the dog if it's straight. He's just
Gonna bet here.
Did have a walking the dog draw pre.
There we go. But then I guess you have a walking the dog draw with as shitty as 9-10 off, right?
That's true.
Damn. This is going really well.
He's got a 7
Who's
here
gonna tell
a lot
Sam?
of the time.
You or me?
I don't think he has a flush draw unless he has it with a 10. We're gonna go ahead and bet. I mean, everything kind of got there.
We can see that Sorel Mizzi
Probably not
has
gonna get
3 of a
called.
kind, and that he
That's
should
a bad
bet there,
card for
but
us.
it is a
because
bad card.
Anything that was semi-bluffing, like if we had somehow 8-9 or a flush draw, then
got there.
those all got there. Now here's a hand. This is an interesting situation here, because a guy like Timothy is not going to just call a re-raise here. So essentially, Queen-3 is basically the same as any hand that is that we're 3-bet folding. Okay, I was wrong. You know, there are some hands in his range that he's going to call a 3-bet with, but there's not very many. And maybe I'm underestimating. Maybe I made it a little bit too small. But either way, what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna bet fold.
Yeah, it's happening. Trust
you know,
me.
This does hit a
Timothy
wide
Adams
range
is
of
shoving here with his double
hands
double
that he would call,
gut.
but we're not going to give up after looking that strong. And you know, it's just, that's going to happen sometimes. That's going to happen, and you just have to accept it.
Timothy Adams can't appear on the webcam because it's actually Mizzi playing on one of his other accounts.
You know, we have a blocker.
So Mizzi on Mizzi crime here at the
We're
GPL.
blocking ace-queen, we're blocking-
Griffin Benjer
we're
writing all his
blocking
own jokes
queens.
here at the GPL.
So it's not terribly bad to 3-bet there, in my opinion, when we're that shallow. because a lot of the time it's just going to be a fold or a shove, and most of the time it's going to be that way. But maybe I made it a little bit too small. I'm going to have to reevaluate that one. I think I probably made it a little bit too small. Yeah.
For any of you guys wondering about Sorel Mizzi's descent and the like,
usually
well,
does the
you're
trick.
going to have to wait because
All
there's
right,
going to
we
be a
got
mulligan
ace
and a
jack
call.
suited.
And
We
I'm
are
good.
crushing his range. He's got ace noodle here so often.
He's got
Oh, he's
ace
got the king
noodle here
noodle.
so often. Love that. But he does
Come
have
on, we're running really
the
good in these
suited Kevin.
all-ins in the heads up. That's for sure.
Adam's going to need
See
a
if we
king
can
bot.
keep it
King
going.
and a king only for Timothy Adams here.
Don't do it.
A crown for a king. No king.
Whew.
Double up for Sorel.
I think that's a call for a nipple rub. Ooh-wee.
Oh boy. Here we go.
The nipple rubs are rare, but you know, I think
They're so damn juicy.
after 2 all-ins, you guys deserve one.
If you guys are wondering, Sorel Mizzi is half Maltese. The Maltese very famous for Mela attitude, showing up late, not taking things too seriously, not rushing. So you can take the boy out of Malta, but you can't take the Malta out of the boy. Mela. Mela. Oh, I'm late? Mela. They will wait, Mela. He didn't even have an excuse this time. He was just like, that's my thing.
He
Shucks.
took lateness and he made it his own.
Oh, let
He
me go outside.
He mystified lateness.
Let me go outside for a second, find some dirt so I can kick it. Mela. Loving me some Sorel Mizzi here at the GPL.
We're just gonna bet a standard 2400 here. We're gonna take it down a decent amount of time. We got lots of outs. So we're gonna start calling or limping in with a very wide range. Let me see a flop here with 10-3 spades.
Right, flop for
So
Adams
check
here.
call is really the only play here. I mean, it's not a great board. We're very vulnerable to a lot of different flush draws or other draws
But
coming.
then again,
Bingo on
when
the
you hit a
turn.
10, when you hit a 10, it's all right. Now
Mela.
we can kind of get tricky here. We can bet 7,000. We can lead out.
lead out, break the kid's heart.
Leading out is not a terrible play.
It's not. It's a good play. I can tell you what he has. But I'm not
But
allowed.
against Timothy, we're gonna check. Against Davidai Katai, I would lead out there every time.
Oh.
So that's just about the
Ooh.
worst possible card that could hit.
Ooh.
But
This is going to be a fold from Sorel Mizzi.
this is kind of an interesting spot.
Uh-oh.
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 You know what? I might just bluff here.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I don't think he would play
Oh,
an
boy.
ace of hearts this way.
Oh,
Plus,
Sorel
we have
Mizzi's
full
late
house
for work,
blockers.
and he's still going to pick up
So
a sandwich.
I actually think
from the
that
corner
this
store.
is
This
a
is a
great
fold.
spot to bluff. This is kind of a sick spot, right? Oh, okay, he did have the ace of hearts. I guess he could have the ace of hearts if
Yeah, he
has
could
a
have
jack
the ace
with
of hearts, Sorel. He could.
Mela.
that's definitely a possibility, but I don't
Mela,
think he would
it
play
happens.
a bare ace of hearts like that. So he had the one hand that he could play that way. And look, I stand by my play. I believe that there's a lot more hands that he can be, and he could even fold the ace of hearts
Stand
sometimes.
by my
I mean,
play.
very unlikely, but it's possible. I just think he's folding everything else. And because I have the 10 in my hand, and I know he doesn't have a 10, or a full house rather, I think it's justifiable.
Disaster here for Mizzi the Monkey. But he is going to let it go.
All right, so we, despite winning 2 all-ins, we find ourselves at a 2-to-1 chip disadvantage. That's okay. It's a nice flop for 9-3 of hearts. It leads into us. Now, some people would raise here, and that's silly. We have so much board coverage. We're just going to call. This is the perfect hand to call. And we hit our flush. And Timothy's not the type of guy to bluff here with a lot of hands. So we may actually consider a shove here.
Sorel's plot.
I really think he has something a lot.
Really working
and
here.
that might be reason to shove. Because I don't think he's folding.
You can see the hands. He'd be calling.
And there's some cards that can come on the... I don't know. It's kind of a... I have to think about that one a little. Wow, he had aces that hand. The reason to shove as opposed to call there is because if a heart comes, we lose a lot of value. We might not have the best hand, and I don't think Timothy's the type of player to like just completely stone bluff there in a lot of with a lot of different hands.
Guys, tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 3:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central European Time for us Maltesers. It's Jason Lavallee, the comedian of the Montreal Nationals, against Anthony Génaud from Los Vegas Makers of Money. He looks like a guy who makes money, doesn't he? Get out of my office. Go to Wall Street, Anthony. You look ridiculous.
Take your gun and your badge.
Is he a lawyer?
Get down to Wall Street.
He was a lawyer. Wow. Well, I need a lawyer, so he's my guy.
What do you need a lawyer for, Griffin Benja?
Strip club thing.
We have Jack 8 here.
Oops.
We're gonna limp in. This is one of the hands that
Limp
we're
and
gonna
get
keep
shoved
in
down.
range.
Hero Calling Donk says, Miz has a beautiful but very degenerate mind. Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's rather poetic.
I was actually asked to describe in one word how I would describe Sorel Mizzi on a Poker News feature.
What word
I
did
said
you
it
use?
was sleeky, because he's very sleek. You know, he's like a slick guy, but he's also very sneaky.
But were you allowed to
Might do a
combine
David
two
Icke
words?
tie.
It wasn't in the
parameters
terms of conditions of
How
the
would you
thing,
guys feel
but
about a little
luckily
David Icke tie here?
didn't get in trouble. They accepted it.
11,000. Nah. I chickened out.
Chicken over, made it straight. 6 card straight here for Sorel Mizzi. Chop City, baby. Chop City, baby.
Now, Timothy Adams was on his genius A-level game. He might go all in here. And that's what he should do. I mean, I can't call without an ace, and he knows I don't have an ace. So, well done, buddy. And
Sorel
he
very
could have an ace,
short here at the
or he could have a
1632
flush.
level.
I mean, I could justify going all in there on the river, but I could pretty much only have a flush.
Yeah, just about 30, just over 30 blinds total in play now in this game. So I'm not going to be
King 7.
seeing
I think I have to
too many
call here.
flops from here on in, I'd imagine. All in here.
Right.
Ace 4 against the King 7.
60-40.
Huge
We've done
flop for
pretty well
Sorel.
in these before. Can we keep it going? Oh, of
Club on the
course.
turn.
Don't you dare.
Gives Timothy 2 pair.
Ooh.
River
We are
bricks
running
off, and that'd be a
very
nice,
well. Very hot in these all-ins, heads up.
double up for Sorel there.
And now,
This
after
is the
making
match
2 or 3
that
mistakes,
never ends.
we
It just
do
goes
our
on
little
and on, my friends.
all-in win. That's the thing. I can make as many mistakes as I want. I can get down to the 10-5 big blinds, and then I just get saved by the all-ins.
As you can see, them being this short stacked, we're going to see a lot of all-in confrontations.
All right, so here's a hand.
This might be one of them.
We have middle pair. We're just going to check behind. There's no need to go crazy.
Jidda Juice Man asks, how high is Sorel Mizzi on Addy or Meth lol? He's actually just high on life.
Half man.
And maybe a little low
Now he has a
on
7 here a lot.
melatonin.
A lot,
Oh
a lot,
my
a
God,
lot. I
like
think he has a
he's
7
there.
here almost always. So we could actually justify raising, but it's just too sick. So we're just going to call. Because he's not going to call. Oh, wow. Wow, that's very unexpected, especially with the timing. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to win an all-in pretty soon. Now we could go all in here,
It's a trap.
but we're not going to.
Strong flop for Adams.
He has been limping quite a bit. So we're going to take note of that.
A lot of board coverage here for Timothy.
Timothy's he's a little bit tricky heads up. I haven't played a lot with him heads up, but I've played a decent amount with him in these high rollers and 6-max. He's obviously a very talented player, very, very smart, and just solid in a lot of different respects in his life. Pocket deuces. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna
Call
go
off
with this
here
one,
with
guys.
pair of deuces is Sorel.
Another flip.
Needs to
Action
avoid.
Can we do it again?
He is
number
a
of cards
58%
here.
favorite.
6 is no good for us. We
Great
need to
card.
hold. This is gonna be a miracle.
6, 7, 8.
Keep it high. Yeah, baby.
Nice hold there for Sorel.
What a hold. We take the lead just like that. See if we can keep
Switcheroo
this
here at the
down.
GPL.
All right, King 7, putting this in his eye.
Bit of a discussion in the Twitch chat
Another,
about
opportunity.
the merits and pitfalls of Ace-10.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's another fair fight.
Wow,
Big
another
flip
big
here.
flip. Huge
It's just
flop.
not
Set
And
for Sorel.
hashtag
It's
run
not
like
fair.
Sorel. Listen, I'm not saying the
Don't give him
world
a club.
revolves
Give him a
around
club for
Sorel
a start.
Mizzi, but look at the size of the pot for the
That's just
win.
beautiful.
I
I
mean,
don't think I've lost a single
this is
all-in
standard
heads-up
Sorel.
matches. Oh, jeez.
Okay, guys. Sorel
Sorry,
Mizzi
Timmy.
takes a 1-0 lead here in this all-Canadian affair.
it's Sorel Mizzi Day here at the GPL.
Every
and
day
if
is
I know
Sorel
anything
Mizzi
about
Day.
you, Sorel, you love red grapes. I'm going to get in trouble for doing this, but it's like an inside joke. Loves red grapes. Let me tell you the story. So, when he was a kid, his mom would always buy red grapes for his dad because red grapes help with heart problems. And he would always be like, "Hey, Mom, I like red grapes too. Can I have some?" And she'd always say, "No, you're not allowed red grapes. They're for your dad." And then he's like, "Just buy more." She's like, "No, they're for your dad." He talks about it all the time. So I bought him some red grapes for Sorel Mizzi Day. I miss you, Sorel. 3 points to none in favor of the Berlin Bears here at the GPL. Max Rabinovich loving the grapes. You want some grapes, Max?
Anyway, Griffin, what do you think of that game? Swung both ways. Both players had the other all in to win the match. I think one of those games that, in the end, was
like
a
a
strong
grape?
chance it could. I'll have a grape maybe after the show.
Okay.
A game that
values his job.
a game that swung both ways, but you kind of felt in the end,
Yes.
neither player making many mistakes, was going to stretch out into those high blind levels towards the end, where the card distribution is everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys were, I feel like Tim maybe played a bit better over the course of the match. I mean, you look at some of the times he got coolered, some of the flips he lost. We saw him lose the deuces against the 7-10 off. We saw his aces when he was trapping pre-flop lose the 3-4 suited. And then again there at the end, 7s against ace-9. I think that Sorel is really aware of how good he is running in these heads-up matches at the GPL. He swept Davide Katai. He's one up on Timothy Adams, despite Timothy Adams really, I think, playing a bit better than him in these matches. So it'll be interesting to see how Sorel if he will even adjust, or if he's just going to play the rush. When you're winning a lot, it tends to bring out the best in you, and that's what I expect from the Mizzineta, the Zangbazan,
Yeah,
Imperium.
Yeah, 4 wins out of 4
RIP,
so far in the heads-up element of the GPL for Sorel Mizzi. He played an interesting hand in that last game.
Yes.
We saw a 4 heart board. He turned 3 10s and decided to, when the river brought the flush, to shove river and represent a stronger hand, or even the hand that Timothy had. You felt like that particular play wasn't. You didn't agree with his thinking, the way he sort of worked that through in his head.
I actually even forgot about that hand. Like, yeah, Timothy Adams kind of crushed him that game. I got to be honest with you. Yeah, that was a really poor shove by Sorel Mizzi. I understand that he had the blocker for the 10, which blocks a bunch of full houses and that sort of thing. But Sorel, like, Timothy Adams, if he's going to snap call with the ace of hearts, which obviously he's going to do, he's going to snap call with a lot of other hearts. You know what I mean? Like, he's not just going to make a fold there. I think Sorel came in a bit rushed, probably a bit rusty, and just made a bad play and was just pissed that his trips kind of got counterfeited by the blatant flush of. I understand the thought process of, obviously Sorel's an incredibly advanced poker thinker, and I understand the thought process in regards to he shouldn't have the ace of hearts a lot because he didn't barrel the turn, but I mean, I think that Timothy Adams will still check back the ace of hearts a lot there, not just the ace jack. So I think a misstep there. I think Sorel probably knows it. Again, he's going to own his mistakes, and that's what he does. So I can appreciate that. But I think he got outplayed in this match by Timothy Adams. He's been running really good. But the Berlin Bears certainly need it, just like the Rome Emperors do. So we'll see what happens in the next few matches.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So
there was some very impressive laydowns. I thought in that game.
Yeah.
A couple of times the players got to the river with marginal holdings, third pair, fourth pair,
Yes.
facing a bet, and more often than we've seen in most games, the correct decision was made instantly. You feel that these guys are, these guys don't really. They're so sort of in tune with their reads that they're not taking some of the time that other players are to what might seem to us pretty sort of agonising decisions, especially in heads up, where hard to make a pair. These guys are folding pretty strong holdings in spots where they're behind, but they know they're behind.
Right. Yeah. This is what I'll say is that as commentators who can see the cards, it's very easy to see things in a very kind of entitled way because you feel like you just know that they're going to be making a mistake because you can see the cards. And I think that's like the curse of a lot of commentators in general. But I think that what is so amazing about seeing these guys that are so good is that they make the right decisions so bloody often that I think you kind of forget how good that really makes them. I mean, you watch Sorel, he made like that one big mistake. We're talking about it on endlessly, but that's really the only mistake that he made. I mean, these guys make such perfect decisions. Sam Trickett, that match, incredible to watch. Any Igor match, any Bonomo match. These guys are the best of the best. So fun. There is the Mizzineta.
Game 2, guys. Here we go. Keep your questions coming in on Twitch, guys. We try and answer all the questions that we see that come up on our feed. Anyone who wants to get in touch on Twitch, use the hashtag GPL.
Anyone out there, if you're interested in completely wasting your time, try to convince a player in the Twitch chat that you should be snapping off ace-10 offsuit for 20 big blinds, heads up against the best players in the world. They're not going to believe me. Clearly, I just don't know what I'm talking about. Why do I engage? I rarely do. I was just giving them the benefit of the doubt, but he just
for
won't.
the fans,
He just doesn't get it. You realize that these are like the 60, 70 best players in the world and that they're reshoving way worse than ace-10, right, buddy? Just not going to waste my time typing it anymore. Just not going to do it. 10-9 off here for Sorel Mizzi. Timothy Adams with the 10-7 suited. Is this a chop? 10-10, Jack, King, Ace. It is. So we will see how this goes. Big Mama Jones asks, has Elke been officially sent to the minors yet?
Elke's been sent down a mine, all right.
Unfortunately,
been sent to Chile.
His first round contract, too big for the Parasaviors to move at this point. So unfortunately for him and for the league, He is still here. Elkie, I love you. I'm just kidding.
Elkie's been sent down a Chilean mine to work on his poker game.
Oh my God. He thinks minors is literally like minors. Like, you just don't know anything about anything. You know what minors means, right, for sports? No, you don't know what we're talking about.
No.
Like the minor leagues, like the baseball minor leagues, the
Oh.
hockey minor leagues. You
you
think we're talking about Chilean minors? Can I get a real caster beside me, please? Where is Sam Grafton?
I thought Big Mama Jones wanted Elkie like sent down a mine.
Oh my.
Like,
I can't do it, Rabinovich. I can't do it anymore.
sorry, I don't understand your American sports references.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Just when
do
I
you know,
thought.
do you know where all the worst sports are?
Just when I thought you'd be a home run, it turns out
America.
you're a strikeout. Did you get that one?
Yes.
John Paul the Great responds, LOL, Big Mama. He's licking his wounds, playing Hearthstone right now. By the way, is it pronounced Hearthstone? Because it ain't spelt like Hearthstone. 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 Stone of the Hearth.
Timothy Adams picks one up, spiking a 10 on the river there.
That's actually what Sorel Mizzi likes to do on a weekend. I realized actually the joke, I meant like get a 10, not. Now it just sounds like a date rape joke. I'm sorry. That did not mean
Yeah, like
come
a
off
date
like
rape, a date rape and murder joke.
that. Oh, God. I'm going to get an email in the morning. Someone is off the force, Max Rabinovich remarks off screen. I apologize for that accidental
Trip
joke.
sevens for Sorel. Not much for Timothy.
Return trips here.
Speaking of,
Going out
though,
of bet.
Bill Cosby admitted to some terrible acts today. He actually finally came clean about, but he said the agency sent them to him. Hear about this?
I haven't had the latest.
we're not having this conversation. Let's keep it. I'm getting told by producer Louise no Bill Cosby talk. Pretty reasonable here at the Global
Yeah.
Poker League.
So heads up,
Not an unreasonable request from the producer of the show.
a lot of buttons. Like a very,
Roger
very
that request.
wide range of buttons, especially this early.
And our mics go dead.
As it gets more and more shallow, we have to be a little bit more responsible with how we use our stack, because our flexibility for our maneuverability rather goes down quite a bit.
So Mizzi with a very playable 3-7 off into the muck. His hair is getting emphatically more absurd. I mean, each and every passing minute.
Yeah, I mean, the top part of it is just growing completely vertical.
He just looks like the kind of guy I just want him to take me out for like on a couple of dates, and then just like stop
And then
messaging to my
spike you.
Facebook. No, stop answering my Facebook messages. You know, it's a bad boy.
The bad boy of poker.
Yeah. What do you think of Sorel Mizzi, Laura? No opinion.
Queens for Sorel.
Yes. Always the ladies for Sorel.
All right.
Sorel smirking at the red grapes.
Yeah, the Twitch chat is exploding. The red grapes story.
Red grapes are
What is
delicious. GTO Fish remarks, red grapes are tasty AF. I'm no acronym major.
Question
but I'm
from
pretty sure.
Naked in the Rain 67. Did the London Royals play today? Yes, they did. Sam Tricky Trickett defeated the Moscow Wolverine representative Vladimir Troyanovsky 2-1. He raced into a 2-0 lead and was pegged back in the final game
Pegged?
by Vovtroy.
Pegged
back.
Like Pegged?
Yeah, pegged back is means you're flying off and someone has put presumably like tied a bit of string and
That's
put
not
a
what
bit
pegging is to where I'm from. But
I
fair
mean,
enough. I'll tell you one thing, I'll pay top dollar for a nice pegging.
This is not what we call an action flop.
But Sorel Mizzi turning 2-pair, slightly behind Timothy Adams with the 10s and 4s.
We're going to call one here. I mean, we got the deuce. It's going to be good quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those spots where you just have to call one.
Sorel
Hope he
Mizzi
shuts down.
with deuces and
He does shut down, but you have the better hand
Shuts
there.
down with the best hand.
Sorel Mizzi with deuces and 10s there. Also the range of women that he would like to date. Deuce to 10s. He doesn't discriminate, Sorel. Ladies' man. Top dollar.
Only discriminates against ones.
Just been told by Max Rabinovich that my 20s voice guy not ready for the air, but I disagree, say.
Ace high good on this run out for Sorel.
You come here wanting a pony. Gave you a lager. Sorel Mizzi, another slow start here, but early days in the second match.
Putting a little through bet here.
Good timing from Sorel. Definitely this match could prove key in the standings. Rome already adrift at the bottom by 8 points. It's been stretched to 11 after this after the first game.
Yeah, clash of the runts of the litter, we're calling this match.
Yeah, the basement boys.
What happens when a bear and an emperor get into a fight? Nobody cares. I'm just kidding, obviously. Still early on in the season. Anything can happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Griffin Benja.
Obviously, I'm just kidding. Still amazing to watch these guys play. And it really, I mean, it was an indication today with the way the last 3 days have gone for the Hong Kong Stars. You can absolutely fly up those standings. But one of these two guys really needs to get 9 points for the respective teams. And, well, actually, only Sorel can do that now. So good luck to him.
Yeah, really not the start Timothy Adams won in this match. He found himself twice in a very strong position to pick up the first 3 points, which really would have provided a platform for him to go. And what they really need is the sweep here. So, I mean, with anything other than the next two games going Rome's way will be really quite disastrous.
A little nothing for everyone here on this board. I mean, how can two hands dodge a board so aggressively? No club, like, just.
I mean, Sorel's paired his deuce here.
I didn't see that he had the deuce. But, I mean, think about it. There's, what, 8 cards involved up to that turn? And just, like, nobody wants to be friends with each other, like, at all? Just saying. I mean, ducks fly together. We all know that. That's why he had the 2s.
I got a question, Griffin. Can a duck be used to describe a deuce when it's only one of them? I heard one of you and Sam, you or Sam say king duck yesterday to describe a hand. I'm not sure whether that was acceptable terminology or not.
But why? No, it's just I don't understand.
I mean, because it's ducks. Can you have one duck in poker?
I think you can, right? Why does it have to be ducks? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the king duck is a hand that's a legitimate.
And it's also,
Referencing.
you know, a man in power that is, you know, has a pet duck, king and a duck.
Raise and take it for Sorel.
Can you say that again, Max? Okay, well, if anyone wants to know what it looks like for a queen duck, please refer to Max Rabinovich and his girlfriend.
Guys, for those on Twitch asking where Sam the Squid Grafton has got to tonight, he's having a night off tonight. He had a prior engagement. He'll be back in the commentary desk tomorrow for the final show of the studio phase of the GPL here in the Malta studio.
And he may be joined by Roland
betting is
Boothby if
probably
I keep
better
up with all these grape jokes.
than checking, because now I'm kind of tempted to check call with king high. I think it's going to be good quite often. That's probably why betting is better. But that being said, yeah, probably if I'm going to check there, maybe I should fold. But in hindsight, I would have liked to see a bet for me. I probably should think a little bit. I mean, I haven't played poker in quite a while. I'll be honest with you guys. It's been a minute.
Chewy Cow asks, how does the league choose who goes on cam each match? Unfortunately, I'm too distracted by your delicious sounding name. Chewy Cow.
Well, yeah, to answer the question, yeah, I mean, in the six max element, well, this question is more applicable to six max because in the heads up, they just ideally both go on. In terms of the six max, we try and switch it up. Use players who are exciting to watch.
I think what he's asking is because we only see Sorel on the cam right now.
Okay.
So he might be Chewy Cow. You may be new to the stream. I'm Griffin Bender, by the way. Nice to meet you. Sorel is unfortunately Timothy Adams does not have his webcam available.
Take it down quite often.
So that is
on
why.
The flop. We're gonna keep betting here.
But usually
we're probably gonna bet one more time, and if we don't improve, we're gonna fold. Or check rather, check behind.
Tim Adams established a nice sort of slightly comfortable lead here in this second match.
another flop where we don't see a lot of
We might be going all the way with this one, folks.
But he does turn some equity here.
Hit a nice little straight draw on the turn.
Big
Probably was going to bluff a lot of rivers there.
Two pretty strong hands here, heads up. Would expect to see Sorel just peeling though. Nice flop there with the ace-3.
Ace-3, we got the backdoor flush draw. We hit second pair. This is a reasonable flop. Just gonna check call here. No point in check raising. I mean, a lot of people would check raise this board. Me, I don't see the point. You're just gonna put more money in the pot out of position with a hand that you don't know is good. Why would you raise? Why? Like, you always have to ask yourself why. You always have to stay in the question in both poker and in life.
I don't think
why?
a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people raise this board.
Is it better to check call there? Why is Goldman Sachs getting sued for $5 billion? Why is the FBI going after Apple?
Here we go.
I don't know.
Oh
but
boy.
you have to ask yourself
ladies and gentlemen.
Illuminati talk here at the Global Poker League.
Is there a reason behind it? Is there some sort of hidden agenda here?
Someone pull the plug.
You
Yeah.
just have to ask yourself those questions.
Guys,
It's the sniper in position. Yeah, he said too much. Yeah, please.
we found ourselves a conspiracy theorist.
Take the shot. Take the shot. Take the shot.
All right, we hit a pair with a backdoor flush draw. Just gonna keep checking here.
Sorel gets to the rib with the best hand here.
No point in betting. He's only calling with better. See, this might be a hand that I would check raise. Just gonna put a little min bet in here. It's kind of works as both a blocker bet and a value bet, right? Because if he has ace high here, he's probably gonna call. So I kind of like every once in a while I like putting in a min bet in those kinds of spots. Sometimes I'll do it with a really big hand too, so I do mix it up quite a bit. I don't. For those pros out there that are watching this, I'm letting you know right now. I mix it up. I'm not always doing that with a weak hand. Sometimes I'm doing that with the nut or butters. So you try to you try to raise me in one of these 100Ks in that spot, I dare you. Because the next time I do it, I'm gonna have the stone nizzle bits. And you're gonna raise me on that river, and I'm just gonna put that in your eye, butterfly. That's what's gonna happen. So don't get sneaky. Here we got pocket tens. We're gonna bet again. And we might even bet the river. Are we that sick? Are we that sick that we're gonna bet this river? That's the question. Are we that sick? Are we gonna bet this river for value? Well, the thing about Timothy is that he's really, really good. But he's not really like, he's not really like the hero call type of guy. Like against David, I could tie all day on betting here. But against a guy like Timothy Adams, who's on the conservative side, and he might be doing this with some sneaky little queen 7, we're just going to give it up.
Losing the minimum there, Sorel Mizzi. Unfortunate turn of events for the bear and his tens.
Wisely opting not to value bet tens there, the king-queen board. So it's pretty high level thinking that he was even considering it. Two good hands here.
This should be an all-in.
Mm.
Sorel,
Can
does
we
he
fold
want to
here?
go for the flip?
The very fact that it's possible that he could be doing this with ace-deuce.
This is why you limp a hand like this.
It's kind of tough. This is
why you
kind of
limp a
tough.
hand like
This
this.
is really, really tough. Because he could easily have a bigger pocket pair.
Definitely a misstep
Most of the
here
time
from Sorel Mizzi.
we're going to be flipping.
By tanking?
I have been
No,
running
by
really good
not
flips.
limping.
This is kind of...
By raising, he gets shoved
Gotta
here for
think
the
about this
25
one.
big blinds. If he just limps.
The book says the call. I believe the book says that this is a clear call. Because he could have ace-deuce. He could also have deuces. Yeah, we're going to stick it in.
Sorel Mizzi goes for it, goes for the big flip.
Another flip.
Oh,
And
another set.
unbelievable.
It's not even. It's getting ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
just.
He might
It's
even
not
just
even
make a
fair
flush
anymore.
here for jokes.
This is
you know?
ludicrous.
Oh, here's a set. Here's also a flush draw. Because, why not?
60,000 for Sorel.
Like it's
Again,
not even. They're not even giving the poor guy a sweat.
Like the first game, this game's swung one way and then the other. And,
Narratively speaking, we're talking about how good Sorel's running. Can we talk about how bad Timothy Adams is running in the GPL? I mean, this is a guy that I would not have been surprised if he was the star of the league. And, he's only strung together those 6 points through those 2 heads-up matches. That's 2 2-1 defeats. And now Here he is playing again, and he punts it off with the king 7 off.
We did not 3-bet this to fold.
No, we did not. Oh, what do you know? Did he just get
Wow.
ace 10 in for 20 or more big blinds? Is that what happened, Hero Calling Dog? Did I just predict the future?
Very good hand.
I
and that was a very good flop.
I did.
There's only a few cards we have to dodge. Ooh, baby girl.
And
All
yeah.
right, we are 5-0. Heads up. I think there's one more.
At Hero Calling Donk, I told you, buddy. Ace 10, 25 big blinds, 3-bet calls it off, no hesitation. What did Tim Adams have there? King 7 off? Amazing, amazing. It's almost like we know what we're talking about, Roland.
Yeah, Griffin Benja here, folks, fighting a personal one-on-one battle with one of our Twitch viewers tonight on the merits and pitfalls of Ace 10.
Yes.
That was the 2-0
speaking,
there
worked
for
really well.
Sorel Mizzi. Timothy Adams not running at all well tonight. I think
And
he's
then
had,
making a rare mistake. But with the king blocker deciding that he was taking a game flow spot, it was definitely a spot where Sorel could have been 3-bet folding. Unfortunately, he had the goods. And that's what Sorel does. He really gets into the mind of some of these players and throws them off their game a little bit. I think that's what happened there against Tim.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 times Tim has had Sorel Mizzi all in for his life in each game, and each time Sorel has he won a crucial flip or hit the card he's needed. Timothy Adams is going to be extremely frustrated. Certainly doesn't deserve to be 2-0 down. This is his 3rd match, of course.
Yep.
We've seen him in weeks 1 and 3, edged out 2-1 in both of those games. Even if he's edged out 2-1 tonight, I think that's a pretty unlucky showing from Timothy.
Right.
He could be edged out 3-0, and that's really a disaster for
Definitely.
the Rome Emperors and for Timothy personally, who hasn't really put a foot wrong. 1 or 2 missteps, but overall, very unlucky to be in the position he's in now.
Yeah, definitely Sorel. He's now won 5 straight heads-up matches. We've talked about how well he's been running, obviously, but this guy might be, I mean, he talked a little bit about it. He said, he's going to go hard for the Bears. He's going to start climbing them up those rankings. I mean, he's very well aware of how good he's running, but he also knows, just like me and every other poker player out there, that when a guy like Sorel's running good, he will run over a tournament. There's a reason why he's won so many tournaments, why he does so well on the super high roller circuit, why he final tables Aussie Millions every time he goes. This guy is a legend of the game, and he's really showing why.
Yeah, I mean, 5 heads-up victories in a row
against Devity Katai and Tim Adams.
I mean, 2 incredible opponents, 2 players you don't really associate with sweeps or with poor decision making. So yeah, I mean. Just an incredible run for Mizzi. Didn't see him till last week.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of held back. We didn't. His team was struggling. He stepped in. His team are going to pull ahead, really far ahead here of the Roman Emperors. And yeah, great pick by Phil Gruesome for the Berlin Bears.
Yeah,
and
putting some faith in a guy that a lot of people would have said, just leave Sorel alone. He's got enough going on. Obviously, someone who has a controversial background. Philip Gruesome, DG, does not give a bleep. He's just like, I love Sorel. He's on my team. He's a top 15 pick. Drafts him and already paying dividends. This is why I love Philip Gruesome. This is why I love Sorel Mizzi. This is why I love the GPL. Good for you, Sorel. Keep it up. But Tim Adams, he's going to make sure he gets 3 points in this final game, I think.
Yeah, I think definitely a few eyebrows raised during the draft when Sorel Mizzi went as the 2nd pick for the Berlin Bears. People maybe thinking that he would stick with some German contingent in the early picks, but he went with Mizzi. Didn't unleash him till game 7, but really proving a wise and shrewd choice.
Very, very well said. Let's go to Laura, who is going to tell. Oh, no, we're going to be going to the game.
Yeah,
Laura,
we love the game.
We do love you, sweetie, but unfortunately, you lost in the sauce. You lost in the sauce. We lost in the game.
Yeah,
So,
Tim's really got to try and avoid the
yes.
sweep here because things will be looking pretty grim for the Rome Emperors. The fall of the empire will be nigh if Timothy can't pick up 3. There'll be 3 consolation points at this point, but 3 points
But
that they can't be getting sweeps.
No more 4-bet shoves with Kevin, buddy. I mean, you're proving my point with the ace 10, but other than that, Tim, you're better than that. You got this. Let's get to the match.
We're going to the game, guys. Straight in with jacks for Sorel. If things... I mean, I'm fairly certain this is the first time players won 5 heads-up matches in a row on the GPL. It will certainly be the first player to win 2 sweeps back-to-back, I believe. I'm sure Mr. Eric Denis will correct me if I'm wrong. A few interesting flops that could develop on this hand. Timothy elects to 3-bet.
All right, this is our 3rd and final match. Maybe we'll have a nice little sweep ski like we did against Davidai. The trajectory is certainly looking towards that.
If you're just tuning in, guys, we had a lot of great action here at the GPL. Roland Boothby replacing Sam Grafton just for the day. Done a phenomenal job. Really happy to have you on the desk here, Roland.
Great to be here, Grit.
Nanonoko sweeping Elke. A lot of viewers turned out for that one. Wanted to see the 2 online Twitch legends go to war. They certainly did. But Nanonoko getting that sweep, reaching Super Saiyan level 2, sweeping for the Hong Kong Stars. The Hong Kong team flying up the Eurasia standings. And then Sam Tricky Trickett battled against the Russian legend Vladimir Vovtroy. Don't call me Romanian, the Impaler, Troyanovsky. And Trickett able to get 2 of 3 matches there, getting coolered in that 3rd match, and still almost finding a fold. Really great poker so far. But Sorel Mizzi now won 5 heads-up heats in a row, trying to make it 6, really establishing himself as a star in this league. And poor Tim Adams just running like bum.
We hit little double belly buster is what they like to call it.
Double gut shot here for Sorel. Not much for Timothy Adams. Lets it go. Confirmation from Mr. Eric Denis of the accuracy of the stats I just gave you.
2 big hands here. Would expect a 4-bet from Timothy Adams and a call from Sorel.
We're currently hearing Sorel hearing himself. Bit of a GPL-ception.
I kind of changed my mind last second.
And the regret courses through his body as the Ace of Spades turns. Although hard to know whether Timothy Adams would actually fold this board with Ace-Queen high, no club. Probably not. Checking because he will be ahead a lot here, but then get floated.
So my plan was to bet there and then like get a couple free cards. But there's not a lot of cards. The reason why I actually, in hindsight, I think betting the flop there is much better, because there's a lot of hands that he's like shutting down with. Plus, there's a lot of cards on the turn that can come that we are going to. Our hand is going to be in bad shape. So I don't know. It's kind of. Yeah. Another situation where in my mind I knew the right play, but I did not make the right play at the time. It happens a lot. Isn't that weird? Like in poker, it happens a lot where you know you should do something, but you do another thing. And becoming really good at poker, all it is doing what you know you should do when you are in the hand versus reflecting on it afterwards. And it's not like not
So
saying
true.
as a results oriented type situation where, oh, I should have done this because he bet the turn and I would have won it. I'm not saying it from a results oriented perspective. I'm saying it from a perspective of what is the best play in this spot.
Dangerous flop for Mizzi here.
Very dangerous flop here. But with the way he's been running, I'm sure he'll turn a king-9 or get a really scary turn card that might shut down.
Check raise.
Oh boy.
I think that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Don't hate it here. Usually king-9 is absolutely huge on this board. And even though Tim Adams is way ahead, he will probably just call here. No reason to get the money in on this board.
We're gonna bet again here. Fire a big one.
Big pot heading the way of Timothy Adams here. Unless some help comes on the river for Sorel.
King 9 is just going to be good here a lot. And that's the type of card that is going to induce a check from us. I mean, we're pretty much bet or check. If we're going to check raise here, we're going to bet the turn and we're going to check almost all rivers. A lot of draws missed. If he checks back, we're pretty comfortable and know that we have the best hand a lot. Ugh.
Going down to Value Town.
I just don't see us winning this hand. Thing
Big
is
spot
that
here
if he
for
does
Sorel
have
Mizzi.
some sort of ace deuce, ace four type hands with the flush draw, I don't see him betting here. I see him checking behind because his draw could be, he might have the best hand. So, and this is one of the reasons why I don't really check raise top pair with a good kicker here very often. It's because it puts you in vulnerable positions out of position. Plus, there's a lot of cards that can come on future streets that kind of put you in a weird spot. We're just gonna fold here, and
Good
I'm
fold
pretty
by Sorel
confident
Mizzi.
that we're beat. But I don't think we were beat the whole way. He may have had some weird 10 jack of clubs, or I don't know. I don't know what he had, but I know that
He had a better hand.
I'm fairly confident that we were beat.
Yeah, great instincts, poker instincts there from Sorel Mizzi.
And a lot of the times I feel like I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong there. I just don't think he's bluffing ever.
Ten jack of diamonds. Oh, damn. Damn, son. Don't tease me, Timmy. What a beaut.
Oh, wow.
Action flop here. Sorel Mizzi, bottom pair, so we will see at least one more street of action. Timothy with the quick half-pot bet, the quick snap call, and that card should win the pot for Timothy Adams almost 100% of the time, to be honest with you. Could see any kind of bet sizing. That bet will get Sorel to snap fold. Sam Grafton hates when I predict the future, Roland, but so I try not to do it. But if you just want me to tell you exactly what they're going to do every single spot, I will do it. Let's see if I'm ever wrong.
Do you see Sam Grafton in the desk tonight?
No, I got to take advantage of this.
Go ahead and predict away.
Sorel Mizzi.
I love predictions.
Probably going to bet about 1,600 here, and Timothy Adams is going to make a very quick call.
Oh, here we go.
No, I can't do it. It's just, they're gonna talk me out of it. But I've already read the script, pal. Okay, you've seen this stuff a million times. Seen it a million times.
We're probably gonna bet this.
Then just crystal ball, folks. Here on the GPL.
I think that there's enough cards, there's enough hands that he would
I'm a peacock,
call
Sam's gotta
a
let me
bet.
fly.
Like he's probably calling a lot of 7s, a weaker 9, and I do think that he's betting like all 10s, so, and all kings, obviously.
I think Sorel Mizzi may have been muted by a production team. He's His volume on his replay is slightly loud for our, our stream. Hearing back mine and Griffin's comments from 10 minutes ago.
What were you saying, sorry?
We were hearing back our own comments in Sorel Mizzi's headphones, which I believe is why the production team have probably temporarily cut him off. Top pair here for Timothy Adams. Not much for Sorel, who's struggling to get any momentum going in this final game.
The butchers for Tim Adams. The raggy ace for Sorel Mizzi. Getting aboard, he will continue on that he is not ahead on. That's always the interesting thing about something like Kings versus Ace 4, is that oftentimes for Sorel to get an ace, it's going to slow down the action a little bit. Here he gets a little piece. Should expect another fold on the turn here to a $5,200 bet. Yep, read the script. Maybe I'm from the super future, you know? Like we are technically in the future talking about this and they're going to see it in 10 minutes, but maybe I've like actually already seen this tape. I mean, how would I know exactly what he's going to bet?
Griffin Benja, the super user of the GPL software. The super user. He sees the cards before they arrive.
That's why everyone thinks I'm a cheater. King 9 suited against the kicks of Sorel Mizzi. He's going to call, and there's going to be 37.60 in the pot. I mean, now I'm making it obvious that I'm just doing math. Great turn card here for Sorel Mizzi as he checks his genitals for warts. Obviously just rolling a cigarette. So it's surprising to see Sorel's check there. Maybe he's check calling for value.
Quite bit.
Timothy Adams is the better kicker.
Kicker place.
Pretty sure Mizzi's putting together a sweep on a Rubik's Cube before he sweeps Timothy Adams
Under the rug.
Out the door in this final GPL matchup of the night. Berlin Bears against the Rome Emperors. Aces.
It's a trap. Admiral Akbar's. Yes, Timmy. Great limp. Sorel here with a nothing hand. And if I know anything about Sorel, he will certainly consider making this about 3,700. But he will probably just check since he is busy doing whatever it is he's doing. Timothy Adams really, with this 3-1 chip lead, really wanting to get some points here. Definitely someone who's very aware of how good Sorel Mizzi has been running in these matches. Could see him in maybe 3-bet here. He does elect a flat and does outflop Sorel with the queen with the tray.
Big blinds now for Sorel.
Sorel deciding to defend, and unbelievable how good.
We can kind of do some tricky little lead out situation here. But I'm not going to, because our stacks are kind of like...
Some definitely some interesting turn cards.
Check raise.
Hear the voice
and
of
I
he's betting here
Timothy Adams to shove
with
here a ton.
Yeah,
here we go.
He's betting with
and
like something,
unbelievable.
Always.
It looks like a misstep, guys, but I'm telling you, just bad luck.
And there is the straight for
worst card in the deck.
Give me a chop. Okay.
Drama here at the GPL. Again, guys, you can obviously see that Timothy Adams got it in, drawing near dead to a chop
I
there,
got lucky there, but
very, very standard spot.
it's just we're running so bad at these all-ins.
Oh, God.
I can't complain. I mean, look,
Just, oh my God, you make
I've had
me
my
sick.
fair share of
Sorel,
getting lucky in these
Sorel, you give me your
heads-ups
gun and
goes.
badge.
Listen to this guy.
He disgusts me.
So
He
we
disgusts
have the
me.
flush draw here, and you know, I don't think I'm gonna go all in here because he knows I never have an ace.
Wow.
I think I'm just gonna check call all the way down, especially now that I hit the king. We're gonna check again.
Ooh.
Wow. Doom for Sorel Mizzi here.
This hand swung
Oh, that's exactly what
both ways.
This is going to be very difficult for Sorel to fold. Obviously, you guys can see he doesn't even have an ace here, but Timothy Adams not having a lot of aces in his range.
This could be a bluff. This
Yeah.
could be one of those Katais type bluffs.
Timothy Adams.
I may have to call here. Oh, this is a really tough spot. He bet the flop and he checked the turn.
The problem for Sorel Mizzi here is that there are so few two-pair combinations
I limped in
that Timothy Adams has that he bets on the flop. 9-5 is one of the only ones. King 9 he may have raised pre-flop.
This is a tough one, ladies and gentlemen.
8-5 he probably wouldn't have led the flop. 9-5 is one of the only hands where there's so many bluffs like 10-6 off, 10-7 off, 10-jack, Queen 10, like dry diamonds. There's a lot of different.
But I think I have to fold.
Yeah, but Sorel Mizzi,
We're
incredible
gonna stay in.
instinct. He just knows. It's really fun to watch. I know that some of the viewers at home are wondering what is he even thinking about. He just has a king. Very difficult to fold there because Timothy Adams doesn't have any aces in his range there. Just checking pre-flop.
Sorel down to 10 big blinds now.
Keep this undefeated heads-up record going though. Okay, so we have a flush draw.
This money may end up
small
going in
here.
here if Timothy Adams decides to bet.
It's okay to
Which he
check
will.
here too.
Or sorry, if he decides to check raise.
Action killer.
If he raises, we have to fold, so maybe checking is better. All right, king high.
Okay.
Can't fold.
Good call by Sorel
races we
and
All right.
Kate. Give the 7 of
Keeping the
hearts for a
all-in run
sweat.
gets going.
Very frustrating for Timothy
Dead on
Adams.
the turn.
I can just imagine how he was just rolling his eyes
Just
at how
like
he
that,
cannot
go back.
catch a break
Sort of.
against the Mizzonator.
22,000, no problem.
Right away gets dealt a hand. He can do a lot of different things with. He can induce, he can just shove, and he can even limp shove. So many different ways you can play pocket fives at this stack depth. And trust me, hero calling donk, I know how to play this stack depth.
Ten seconds to the Griffin Benja Memorial level here on the GPL. If you're concerned that Griffin's behaving in a slightly subdued way, that will be out the window in 0 seconds.
816. This is the level that I often get to go home.
The Rome Emperor, Timothy Adams here, really wanting to put Sorel to the sword in this final game.
And that's a good hand to do it with. King, queen off, a fantastic 20-plus big blind hand. Here we're calling donk. In a heads-up format. Sorel Mizzi now with a standard shove with the king 5. Deciding to limp.
Just not strong enough to go all in with, so we're just
Not necessarily agreeing with him here. As you can see, completely exploited by the 7 deuce off. Sorel, that's a shove with the king 5. That's just poker math, bro. So as you can see, a few leaks in his game. But again, this is a guy who's won so many tournaments, you can't really...
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Right. Pretty good board, right?
I mean, he actually thinks he's playing perfect too. Sorel, you know I love you, but you are getting so freaking lucky. It's insane. You're swept Davide Katai, and then you're just like... Ugh, it's amazing. It's phenomenal.
Okay, we're going to get paid here
Okay, well,
quite
we
a
have
bit.
3 of a kind here with our 4 or 5
Because we
freaking
shouldn't
off.
have an ace.
He clearly has kings or aces, and I'm just going to, like, get max value. It's like... I'm referencing him having aces the previous match.
Timothy Adams getting roughed up by the deck here. I mean, I
Adams
guess the
might
only
be-
saving grace was
Timothy
the ace
Adams
on the
might
flop.
actually fold here. I mean, he probably won't, but he just knows Sorel's never bluffing here, and like, it's so
He
sick. Like, he
could just
literally
call
knows that
king
Sorel
high
has
here.
has a freaking 4. Unbelievable
Great laydown.
fold. Yeah, so good. He just knows how good
Interesting
he's
that Sorel thought he might call with king high, and he actually lays
Folded
down 2
pocket
kings.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you, I love Sorel, and if he gets the momentum running good, he's gonna crush. But he's very
But I
rusty
just
right
think
now.
it's better to get that little bit of equity in.
Nice hand here from Sorel.
That's why I like limp shoving these kinds of hands. If I raise, he goes all in with like king 5 or whatever, then we're only like 60-40. But if I limp in and he raises, then I can get him off the hand. We want people to fold, right? That's the goal. Get
Action
people
flop
to
here.
fold.
Double gutter for Tim there.
Sorel
Good
snap
delay
folds the
Back card
third
for-
pair.
on the turn, rather. I'm just gonna lay that down.
Sorel with the shitty queen 6, but he does get the walk. God, that hand disgusts me. Ugh. It's just disgusting hand.
Griffin Benja, folks. Loves 8-16, hates queen 6 off. Slight shortage of premium hands being dealt to these players in the last
Hashtag card distribution, Boothby.
hashtag card distribution.
Could see a shove from Timmy here. Timothy Adams, of course, getting dealt the monstrous pocket aids, 14 big blinds effective, and getting a snap fold from Sorel. Should see another shove from Tim Adams. A limp now, like it, mixing it up. Obviously recognizing that Sorel's calling ranges are pretty correct, knows that he'll get snapped by better 7s and better 10s, and has seen that Sorel hasn't been pouncing on his, you know, limping on the button, so wants to see a flop in the hand that flops very, very well, like it. But you'll see a lot of players shoving between sort of 8 and even as many as 15 big blinds with a hand like 10-7 suited. As you can see another queen 6. Can't even breathe on that. In fact, he limps it too. Disgusting man with a disgusting limp. As you can see, Timothy Adams really grinding him down, which is what I love to see from the talented Canadian. Really trying to get those 3 points for the Rome Emperors.
So King Jack here on the button. Going to shove. Gets a snap fold from Adams. Whatever happens in this final game, we will roll into the Summer Series.
We're going to roll into the Summer Series?
Rolling into the Summer Series with the Rome Emperors at the bottom of the table.
And I'm going to miss you guys. I'm not going to Vegas for the Summer Series, so you're going to be without Griff, and you're going to be without Graf, and you're going to be without Boothby for about a month and a half.
What the fans will have is they'll have some Eric Denis, and they'll have some
turn cards. That is
Laura
not
Cornelius,
one of
and
the
they'll
bad
have
ones. I would actually go so far as to say that that's one of the good ones. So we're going to bet 4,200.
Somehow making it happen. And a snap fold from Tim Adams. Amazing. Really great play there from Tim, knowing his ranges so well, knowing Sorel's ranges so well. Queen 9 for Sorel. Again with the limp. Not crazy about it. It's a bit too good to be limping. He needs to start upping the variance to get back in this match, I think. Relying too much on the all-in showdowns, but then not enough. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit weird.
Interesting limp fold there with the
he's
Queen
willing
9.
to limp call 25 big blinds with pocket threes, but he's going to limp fold King 5 and Queen 9.
Here we go again.
And
Tim
it
Adams
seems like
with the slight worst of it.
See, he
Flops
was
a
due
king.
to-
Can we do it again?
I don't think so,
Can we
Sorel.
do it again?
No, no
Put
Barry
that
Green
ace of
sign.
clubs on that river.
Nope, you make me sick, Sorel. I love you, buddy, but you're running too good. It's time to give the Rome Emperors 3 points.
Oh, so close. So close.
Here we have it, folks. Sorel
Well done,
Mizzi
Timmy.
has been defeated for the first time on the GPL.
He is human. He is fallible. He can be taken down. But we can rebuild him. Sorel Mizzi finally losing. God damn it. If he plays that Queen 6 off again, just disgusting hand for a disgusting man. 2 to 1 in favor of Sorel.
We're all Sorel Mizzi fans here on the GPL,
Yes,
but I
we love
think
the red grapes.
it was like a joke that had been taken too far. And you know,
Yeah, how good he was running, yeah.
It would have been.
I have no idea what that's like, by the way, taking jokes too far.
It would have been an injustice of the highest order if Timothy Adams, who played
And
exceptionally well,
yes.
didn't get 3 points for his troubles.
And you know who knows a lot about the highest order?
Who knows?
Lord Boothby. He was invited you to the party of the highest order. We're going to miss you, Roland. It's really too bad. This is a great day here at the GPL.
I'm still going to be at the
Please
GPL,
follow him
Griffin.
at Lord
At
_
Lord
Boothby,
_ Boothby.
or at Griffin Benger. And follow the conversation.
Yeah.
Tweet at us.
Hashtag.
Yes, do
GPL.
the hashtag. You know, I have a shirt from Lululemon that's just like, it looks like little dots, and then if you look really closely, they're little hashtags. Because it's 2016, everyone. It's a social media generation. I'll wear it next time. It's a great shirt.
So,
Yes.
Sorel Mizzi
Yes.
wins 2-1 against Timothy Adams.
Mm-hmm.
3 points. The Rome Emperors, a little bit of consolation for them. Not been their sort of series.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we move into the Americas.
Well, I move into
Heads
it.
up.
You
Yeah,
move back into the office.
yeah.
Like, don't get it twisted here, okay?
So yeah, Rome going to be heading.
Conditions
to
for the Make-A-Wish
Vegas
Foundation were
with
very clear. One day. Like, sorry, continue.
What's that?
Huh?
Anyway,
Keep doing your job. Just doing my job.
Berlin Bears.
Yes, 6 points.
6 points.
Big
Sorel
points.
Mizzi has been their saviour in
Yes.
the past couple of weeks. They were flirting with the bottom place in the table until.
I feel like you're flirting with me right now.
I'm always flirting with you.
I
Griffin.
know, baby. Let's go to Laura, I think, for now. And then we'll head back here and we'll do a little hand of the match sort of thing. Let's go for the Sorel and Mizzi interview. Yes.
Can't wait to see that.
Here, bring the grapes. He wants them, trust me.
I shouldn't let Griffin know that I am actually laughing at his jokes there. He's not funny, is he? Not funny at all. Congratulations to Sorel Mizzi there, winning 2 games to 1 for the Berlin Bears. I thought he was going to do the other game. I thought he was going to win 6 straight games there in a row, but He couldn't do that, could he? He just couldn't do that to poor Timothy Adams. At least Timothy Adams got 3 points in that one. Sorel Mizzi, notorious. Congratulations! 5 straight games. You didn't win the last one, but it was close. You nearly did. You were pretty lucky, but you were finding the right spots. You were doing well.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I'm really happy with my performance. I think I played well. I made a couple of really good faults, a couple nice calls. You know, it was good. It was a great. It's been a great heads-up series, and I'm very happy with my performance thus far. Would have been nice to scoop, obviously, but you can't have everything, can you?
You can't, no. You can't have your cake and you can't eat it. Talk us through some of your choices there. The King 3 that you decided to fold, which was the right choice, by the way. Talk us through what was going on in your head then. Did you just not want to lose at that point?
No, I mean it was one of those spots. I mean, look, it's a tough spot, right? He raised pre-flop after I limped in. He bet the flop and he checked the turn, right? That's like, and then he goes all in on the river. That's just almost never a bluff, right? Like he's just not that sick to pull off a bluff like that, especially with the timing. You know, he bet the flop so quickly, he checked the turn so quickly, and then he bet the river so quickly. It just didn't make sense for him to like take that line with a bluff. So I just decided that, okay, I don't really understand what he has here, but I feel like I'm beat. There's something a little bit off with this hand and the timing, and I just trusted my gut in that spot, and I'm not even sure if I was right, but it felt like I was right.
You were indeed right. He had 2 pair, you had 1 pair, so yeah, you were good in that one. Talk us through a bit more about following the standings. Are you watching your points? Have you any idea where Berlin are in the standings? Do you know now you're in 5th place? You're still in 5th place, by the way, but you're doing much better. You got 74 points now.
Yeah, well, I heard that I saw that we were in 5th, and we were a little bit behind, and that I decided I gotta step it up for Team Berlin Bears, right? I'm the bear of all bears, and I have to make my bear colleagues and teammates proud. So I had to really give it my all and really focus and just put in that intense energy into winning these matches, and that's what I did. I just I looked into I played my best, and I'm glad that I got some points on for the Berlin Bears. I know that we need to get at least 3rd to make it into the playoffs, so I'm hoping the rest of the team can perform at the highest level to get us there, and hopefully we'll make the playoffs and continue playing.
You are actually looking more and more bearish as we go along in the GPL. Have you done something different to the beard?
I'm letting it grow. I'm deciding. The homeless look is coming back.
Is this for GPL? Just to look more like a bear?
Exactly.
That's dedication.
I'm a huggy bear, right? That's kind of like my nickname, and I'm on Team Berlin Bears, and I'm a bear in general. So why not play the part? And that's kind of I decided to go with the bear look, and I may just continue growing the beard. It kind of has that like revolutionary look to it, like that I'm gonna take over the world someday look.
Are you in the bear natural habitat now? We saw you at the coffee shop last week. Is this the habitat of the bear? Is this your home?
This is the bear's natural habitat. This is where the bear hibernates during the winter months and during the summer also, actually. There's been a lot of hibernation lately.
It's very nice. Do you prefer it over the running around the coffee shop trying to find a plug socket to charge your computer?
Yeah, I do. This is much more preferable. I'm in my home. I got my kombucha teas. Anytime I want to go to my fridge and get a kombucha, it's right here. Anytime I want to go on my sideboard and do a little bit of balancing, it's right here. Anytime I want to jump on my trampoline, it's right here. I want to watch John Oliver, but boom. I got everything. This is the bear's home. This is where the bear lives. The bear is just, I'm in my natural niche right now, and everything is familiar. You know, when I'm in the coffee shop, there's people everywhere, there's noises, there's background music. Here, I get to decide. I get to determine my own environment. If I want to put some Limp Bizkit in the music in the background, I could do that. If I want to, you know, indulge in looking at this beautiful piece of art that I have, I can do that. If I want to look at the beautiful Vegas view that I have, I can just look there and see I can see what we've created as human beings. We've created these amazing skyscrapers and these beautiful buildings and casinos, and it's almost like a painting looking outside, you know, like you just look out and you see the creation of man right in front of you. And I love living here. I love being home. I'm no longer in Austin. I did my boxing training, and now I'm back. Now I'm back home, getting ready for the World Series. It's going to be a great next couple months, and I'm going for gold this year, Laura. I've gotten really close a couple times, and this year I'm going for gold. I really think I'm going to have a really good World Series this summer. So
I'm scared for the Bears in Vegas. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be good, though. Can we just have one last nipple rub before we say goodbye? Excellent. Thank you so much. Congrats again on your win. We'll see you later. We'll see you in Vegas.
Okay.
Enjoy that view and that tea and that trampoline and the TV and everything else going on in that natural bear habitat. It is kind of crazy. Let's go to the desk, to the Roland in the Boothby and the Griffin in the Benger for a key hand.
Wow, that's got a good ring to it. I mean, they were trying to figure out what they were going to call it. First, we got Booger, which didn't land with me. Boothin was just like, you know, it's pretty good. I like the Roland in the Boothby and Griffin in the Benger. I really feel like there's a Griffin inside my Benger. Do you know what I mean? I'm Griffin Benger. This is Roland Boothby. This is the last moment of Roland ever being on camera ever in his entire career. This is it. End of the road. I think you've done a phenomenal job, personally.
R.I.P. me.
Everyone else not that crazy about it. I don't care. Listen, I don't care what anyone says. You're doing okay, man. You're doing great. Let's get to a key hand. Roland, I love you, man. You're doing great. You're better than Sam. Here we go.
Here we go, guys. Hand of the night.
So listen, we're two hands here, actually, back to back, and this is very important. So Sorel Mizzi opting to min-raise the pocket threes instead of limping. I said this as soon as he did it. The reason why you limp on a 25-ish big blind stack with a hand like pocket threes, pocket twos, pocket fours, pocket fives, pocket sixes is because you don't want to have to face a situation where you min-raise and you get shoved on with a hand like King Jack, because you have these threes now and you know that you're ahead such a large percentage of the time, but you're so marginally ahead and you could be dominated, and you know it's one of those spots where you're only dominating a single hand, and that is something like ace deuce suited. So it's one of those situations where Sorel knows that he doesn't have a huge post-flop edge against Timothy Adams ordinarily, decides he wants to gamble with the pocket threes, calls it off. Also, a big confidence thing about how well he's been running. And as you can see, practically drawing dead on the flop is Timothy Adams. Certainly drawing dead on the turn with the turn
three high
flush
draw to rub it in there
exactly.
to poor old Tim.
And the thing was this match was going so well for Timothy Adams. He had a big chip lead. He shoved with the King Jack, which was pretty reasonable. Sorel Mizzi made a very speculative call. And then Timothy Adams, this is where he makes a bit of a mistake. The blinds go up. Timothy decides that when he min-raises here and Sorel, he's the kind of guy that would exploit having that momentum and winning that last match. The next hand, he would 3-bet as a game flow thing. I think they have a lot of history, a lot of dynamic. These guys play super high rollers against each other all the time. This wasn't just some erratic tilt move by Tim Adams. It's all about game flow. He has a hand that is pretty strong heads up, not strong if you're getting 3-bet called. And Mizzi, of course, his intention was always to 3-bet call this, sees that Timothy Adams shoved the King 7, gets a very favorable flop. Timothy Adams, so few cards that can help him. Just a 10, which Mizzi has a blocker to, as well as a king. But Sorel Mizzi able to hold. That made it 2-0 for the Berlin Bears. 6 points to 0 at that point. I mean, luckily, Tim Adams was able to get the 3 points for the Rome Emperors, though.
I mean, my main question about that hand, what is Sorel Mizzi goofing around with such a goofy hand like ace-10 for? Griff, I mean,
for you, hero calling Doc, a lot of discussion in the chat today about the merits of ace-10. Heads up with the best players in the world for 20 big blinds.
Ace bloody 10.
Called my shot. That was a lot of fun though today, Roland. All kidding aside, I think you did an amazing job. And I'm a little, to be perfectly honest with you, the reason I'm bullying you so much is that I'm very insecure for my own job now, because you've been working with these people for a long time, and you do this just as well, if not better than I do. So I really appreciate you coming on board, and I hope to have you again.
I think you're safe for the time being, you and Sam Squid.
For the time being.
But yeah, it was
so Bond villain. What was that? It's kind of dark, right? Max, did you see that?
It was
like for the time being, I accept your terms.
It was a pleasure to be able to join you here in the Boothby. Booth by name, booth by nature, as they say. Great night of action. Saw Nanonoko defeating Elki.
Yep.
We saw Sam Tricky Trickett defeating Vovtroy, and we've just seen Sorel Mizzi defeating Timothy Adams.
Nanonoko with a sweep today. Became Super Saiyan, but I put it in the other room.
Mixed bag in regards to kind of who deserved their victories. I think we thought Nanonoko definitely deserved to be Elki. The Trickett Trojanovsky game could have gone either way. Trickett, one of the stars of the GPL so far, felt like Timothy Adams on another day could have easily come out with a 2-1. On another day, he could have swept that game.
Yeah.
He can feel pretty unlucky with the way things turn out. Got the 3 points at the end.
Yeah.
Just that little consolation that keeps a little bit of hope dangling, above the heads of the Rome Emperors.
What was your highlight today? What was your favorite of everything that went down?
Well, I think my highlight of the night was seeing Nanonoko against Elki. It was the clash of the two Twitch followings. We had a big following ourselves for that game.
Can I just say, clash of the Twychans?
The Twychans.
Anything?
No, I always enjoy watching Nanonoko. We had them both on webcam.
Yeah.
We didn't have Trickett on webcam for the first game. He was a bit quiet for the other game. We didn't have Sorel Mizzi and Timmy Adams. Well, I think what the essence of what makes the GPL great is the players and their reactions. And I think for the fans, that game we saw tonight, we saw both two players who really bought into the GPL concept, really fighting for every hand, really willing to go to war against each other. Like I said earlier, a pair of rhinos charging towards each other, neither wanting to give an inch.
Great.
And that was my favorite game of the night.
Perfect. Well, before we send over to Laura, Roland, is there anyone you would like to say hi to? Perhaps your beautiful girlfriend Sarah, your mother back home, anyone else watching?
Hi Sarah, hi Isabel.
There you go. Isn't that beautiful? Corn Dog, we need you. Bye guys. See you tomorrow.
Who doesn't need me? That is the question. Congratulations to all of our winners this evening, including Sorel Mizzi there for the Berlin Bears in the very last match of the evening. We will see how that affects the standings, but I can tell you, I know from in here, it doesn't affect them too much. Berlin will stay in 5th place and Rome will stay in 6th place. But let's take a look at the points as they are right at this moment at the end of Heads Up action. So London Royals, thanks to Sam Trickett there, up top, 1st place, 97 points. Moscow Wolverines in 2nd with 92 points. Hong Kong Stars, Nanonoko had the only sweep of the evening so far today, 91 points. They are just 1 point behind 2nd place Moscow. Paris Aviators with 86 points, 5 points behind the Hong Kong Stars. That is a bit of a disappointment for Fabrice Soulier. Elki unable to score any points today. Berlin Bears then 74 points. Sorel Mizzi is helping to bridge between 5th and 4th, climbing slowly up the conference to try and make the playoffs, and the Rome Emperors stuck down there right at the bottom, and that gap is widening between 5th and 6th place now. Tim Adams only able to pick up 3 points this evening for his team, the Rome Emperors. But we have some very exciting matches for you tomorrow. Oh yes, we do. They are from the Americas Conference. It is all heads up. We're kicking off with Joao Barra of the Sao Paulo Mets versus Farah Xhaka of the San Francisco Rush. He is obviously the manager. That is at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central European time. Then we have Jason Lavallee of the Montreal Nationals taking on Anthony Zeno of the Las Vegas Moneymakers. Las Vegas are bottom of the conference right now, have a lot of work to do. Anthony really looking to take 9 points there. 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, 2:30 Eastern, or 9:30 Central European time. And then the third and final match of the evening, Tom the Big Cheese Marchese, New York Rounders versus LA Sunset, Olivier Bousquet. This is a rematch. These guys have already played each other. Bousquet won 2-1, so Tom will really be looking to win this one back. Bousquet was undefeated until last week, and he was able he was playing from the beach, but Felipe Ramos was able to beat him 2-1. That is the third and final match of the evening tomorrow. It will be a good one. Two really high-class heads-up players playing against each other, and you can probably learn a lot from them. So come back to us here on twitch.tv/GPL for those America's heads-up conference matches, and it is our last match here from the GPL studio for a while. Don't worry, we will still be back here this season, but we will be heading off to Vegas next week to start the summer series, and that will be all live heads-up play cross-conference. So we'll see Eurasia battle it out against America. It's going to be great. Make sure you join us. We will be broadcasting all the episodes every day pretty much on Twitch as well. But first of all, let's go to tomorrow. Let's have our last match of the season, and we will see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.